What's up, everybody? It's Casey with Two Worlds Podcast, and with me, as always, it's the Ed and Ed to my Eddie. It's Jake and Preston. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Preston, we finally have had you on, my friend. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. I want to feel like I want to do a weird like Ed kind of routine. 'Cause I love Ed and Eddie. I want to be like the tall guy with the short hair. I like chickens.
Man, that was one of my favorite shows growing up. I
Loved
I
it.
love that show. But yes, anyway, Preston is our second guest here
Hello.
on Two Worlds Podcast. He has been asking me to be on for a while, and
Oh,
we just didn't get
begging.
around to it till now, despite me being on his podcast quite often. And we'll let him plug that at the end, but you guys already know it's what is it, Preston?
It's the Test Room Podcast.
That's right.
See on a T-shirt, Rose.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice. I like that.
it's a good thing you didn't ask me. I would have said the waiting room. I know it's the testing room. I've subscribed to it. I
It's
always want to
very
say the waiting
close.
room.
You're not, yeah, you're not off. You're not too far off. Yeah.
That's funny. But now we will hop into our news, and I'm guessing it was just because of the recent holidays, but there was not much news out this week.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen. Yeah.
I've I've got just a couple of things to talk about. The first one being, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jeremy Renner was in a very bad snowplow accident
Oh
yesterday.
no.
Um, it was reported that he was run over by a snowplow. His leg lost a lot of blood, and I guess his neighbor happened to be a doctor and put a tourniquet on his leg until medical professionals showed up and airlifted him to a hospital where he is in critical but stable condition. So that sucks. I like Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay.
I mean, that's some, like, if you're going to get hit by a snowplow, at least have your neighbor be a doctor. Like, that's
Yeah,
Works out
some
for you.
luck.
yeah. I guess it was one of his houses somewhere out west that got like a ton of snow.
One of
And
his houses. Yes.
yeah, so unfortunate accident. Hopefully he pulls through and it doesn't hinder anything for him, really. That would be terrible. So okay. And then moving on, I'll save my one terrible bit of comic news for the last thing, but the Assassin's Creed Netflix show lost its showrunner. I think it was yesterday, and I'm blanking on the name of that showrunner, but they're leaving due to creative differences. I guess the show switched producers a little while back, and that switch of producers just kind of I don't know. He said that everything was all good. There was just creative differences and he didn't want to be a part of it anymore. So I don't know if that's good or bad. I'll still probably check that out either way because I do enjoy those games. Preston, any thoughts on that? Are you an Assassin's Creed fan?
I've enjoyed an Assassin's Creed, if you will. But also I know the movie was meh. I did not watch the movie. So the show being trepidous is not surprising for sure.
Yeah. I saw that the producers are actually like Ubisoft people. Uh
Oh, that's a problem then.
is it?
Yeah, good old Ubi.
Yeah, I
Ubi's
know
a
I know
bad
you
name.
guys you
You
guys kind of
know.
dunk on them on the regular.
Oh, we shall. Yes, it's yeah, that company is not a good company at all. But they make some good games here and there.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I got Valhalla last week on the Steam sale because I
Oh, there you go.
it just looked like something that I might enjoy. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Casey, you want to do your
Yeah,
thing?
man. So, reportedly, Marvel has two Untitled Halloween specials planned. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts that you're like, I'd like to see this Halloween special. Like a
I
lot
don't
of people are
mind.
saying it's going to be Man Thing, which makes sense because I heard he was in the Werewolf by Night.
He was.
But other than that, I don't know. What do you guys think? Some people are saying Marvel Zombies, but I have a feeling you want stuff all connected, so probably won't do Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they did Marvel Zombies a little bit with the What If kind of show they did. Man Thing, he was there in the what was it? Well, Werewolf by Night, I think was the show was called. Which is a fantastic show. If you haven't watched
It
that
was.
show, it's a movie. I think it's actually a movie.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
a special,
if you will. Yes. But yeah, that I enjoy Man Thing. I enjoy Swamp Thing. I feel they're close, but not super related. But yeah, Man Thing, I can definitely see them going further with that in the future because people love that.
I agree. Yeah, I could also see something like, and I don't know how rights work. I don't know if Marvel could do their version of Dracula or Dracula's daughter, which I think was Lilith. That's kind of, when it comes to like 70s Marvel horror comics, her first appearance is one of the bigger ones. So I could see them maybe doing that as well, just to get like a lady lead in there.
Well, who was the lady in Werewolf by Night?
Elsa Bloodstone.
Elsa.
Which I guess, yeah, it could
they
be
could
her
do
too.
an Elsa Bloodstone show or movie or story, like a special, if you will.
Yeah. I'd be down for that.
I think Ghost Rider would be sweet as hell too.
Yeah.
If where you just toss the names out that we can get.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean with Dracula, I think he's public domain. So I think anyone can, but I think that the problem with that too then is Disney going, I can't make money off a public domain character. So that might hurt them that way.
Yeah.
Until Blade happens, then we'll bring Dracula back up. Yeah.
Or they could also do like Legion of Monsters if they wanted to do something like Marvel Zombies. Legion of Monsters would be dope.
Yeah.
All right, and then my last bit of news. So Jonathan Hickman is accepting comic pitches for his Substack book 3W3M. Which is like 3 Worlds, 3 Moons, I think is what it's called.
3 women, 3 men.
Yeah, for sure. But he had a thing on Substack where he was like reading comic pitches for people or like giving reviews on comic pitches. But I guess it got to be too much stuff that wasn't related to his book. So now he's doing something where you can pitch like a paragraph for a 3 Worlds, 3 Moons story. And if you win, they will get somebody to draw it for you through Substack. And you'll also get $3,000 for it. Nice. So if anybody out there reads that stuff on Substack and, wants to give it a shot, there you go.
If you can get underpaid, feel free to go for it.
Yeah. But hey, just $3,000 and then to say Hickman published your thing.
Yeah.
Sure. Like Jake, as someone that wants to write comics, are you gonna start reading that Substack like you did Top Cow for a little bit?
Can you just like read Substack or like do you have to do the whole subscription thing?
I think you like subscribe to it and then you can read it like other stuff, but they should have back issues or whatever on there.
I would consider it. I'm just I don't know, I'm kind of busy at the moment.
Yeah.
And also I don't know. I feel like I'm a really weak sci-fi writer.
Yeah.
I don't know. But who knows? I also didn't think I'd ever enjoy Top Cow stuff, but whenever I did that writing competition, I actually liked that stuff. The Darkness and Witchblade, pretty cool stuff. But anyway. So yeah, and that is the end of our news, folks. There was not much at all, but that's okay because the long-awaited and very much anticipated Preston Smash or Pass is going to be happening. So I'm going to get our pages up here
available.
Hopefully I got everybody that we had talked about. Casey and I kind of went through it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, then we should be good.
Yeah. Though the Jaguara might be throwing you off, Preston, because
Nope,
it took us a little bit to find the correct one when we were preparing.
Yeah.
Depends on what you mean by the correct one, but yeah. I mean, if you want to send me a different picture,
He's
I'll
gonna
be,
do
I'll be
screen
sharing my
for us.
screen so that the picture's up on the screen
Okay.
so that everybody can see.
I'm pretty sure we'll be
Okay.
okay.
All right.
I did my own research.
Okay.
On these characters. Yeah.
No details though, please.
No.
Just kidding.
Outside this one, which I like drilling over. Yeah.
All right. So the first one here is Marvel's Feral. So is this going to be a smash or a pass?
So that was the X-Force character, right? Yeah. I see that one right there. Wouldn't kick out of the bed for eating a Sando, but I would say, yeah, do a smash.
Okay.
But
it's those quads, right?
A little extra for me, like, because like it might get some like scratches and some scars on myself, but it might be worth it.
I mean, I think that's fair game with any furry character.
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
Specifically, this one, yeah. It's very feral, if you will.
You don't go, I need you declawed before you step in bed with me, lady. Like, you don't do that with
Could you just like
cat.
Take a little easy.
All right, so then next we've got Marvel's Wolf's Bane.
I think to a certain point I put pass on this one. Because it was too much on the animal side, I think. Okay. Yeah, the face was too scary. But like the one you're showing right now on that right there is fine, but if you go through the other ones, it's mostly just a fucking wolf. I'm sorry, can you curse here? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Curse? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we used to care about it, and then we just got tired of it.
I'm aware, but I'm just going to make sure. But yeah, a little too scary, a little too wolf-like, if you will.
All right, that's 1-1.
Now, Jake, since she's a redhead, would you smash?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
There's a lot of redheads in this one, yeah.
Moving on to DC's Cheetah.
Oh yeah. Definite smash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, was it who was the actor who played her in the Restoring Woman? It's not Tina Fey, is it?
No, it's the other one, her best friend, Kristen something.
Kristen
Wiig.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
Yeah. Hey, smash. I mean, fair enough. We're not judging. We're not judging.
I don't disagree with this one.
Yeah. Just a tail, just some ears. It's fine. Some fur. It's fine.
Then we've got Tigra, however you say it.
Tigra, 1000%. Like we're gonna talk about Moon Knight later on today, but yeah, my main furry love of the comic book universe, probably Tigra. I love Tigra.
Okay. I mean, I get it with the Moon Knight comics. I mean, they make her look real good in that. So
they make her.
Did you guys see the Marvel manga series that came out like early 2000s? They had a Tigra in there, and that one was awakening things in young Casey.
Yep. I ran across some of those back issues at the shop once, and I was like, my goodness.
It happens. It's okay, boys.
Moving on, we've got Heather Hudson's Sasquatch from Marvel.
Let's see here. Yes. I did a smash or pass in form, depending on the form, but the form, no.
Okay.
For the form,
I mean,
yes.
Fair enough.
There's some interesting stuff going on.
Heather Hudson, it's not unattractive, but yeah, the Sasquatch, it's a little too much for me.
Then we've got Jaguara.
I put smash down with this photo. Lord of mercy.
Yep. I mean, gosh, I guess I don't know who created this character, but I feel like it's got to be Jim Ballant.
There's more photos than this. Like I seen other photos that were less promiscuous, if you will. But yeah, I would say yeah, it was a definite smash. I mean, I have the notes right here, but
Okay,
that one is a little, extra, extra.
We've got Panther.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean,
Now,
just
there's the
another.
Teen Titans version also from the Teen Titans cartoon. Would you be like, oh, this regular Panther or Mexican pro wrestler Panther, which is also in
Oh,
the images
I'd do
right now?
Mexican pro wrestler Panther. It'd be fun.
This one here.
This is like a fun
Yeah.
time. Yeah, that's a fun time.
You know, pretty cool luchador costume, honestly.
Mhm.
All right, now we've got Ali Catabra.
I did actually put Smash on this one.
Nice.
Because why not?
We love to hear it. We
She's
love
a cat
to hear
lady. She has some lady parts. Yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, it's sure, why not?
I mean,
All right.
would you be if you're in her universe, you'd be a cartoon too, like cartoon looking, so it wouldn't be near as
Yeah, I
weird.
mean, yeah.
Like if it's just like regular human Preston
And
going to town
cartoon
on
cat lady.
cartoon cat lady, that'd be a
Also-
little bit awkward.
Also, not that awkward.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, it would be awkward because it'd be weird as a cartoon person for me.
It'd be weird that me and Jake have to watch, but other than
Hey.
that, you know,
If it's what the people want,
yeah.
Handsome
I mean, I'm
chairs and
saying-
put in the bedroom is fine.
I'm saying it's awkward. I'm not saying we're not gonna do it.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm saying we're gonna do it. This is Smash.
All right, next is Mr. Taki Tani.
Oh, I say 1,000% yes for this one. This is a Smash.
Yeah.
If I was
look at the face.
If I was into males, if you will, if I was for that persuasion, I would 1,000% be down with this gentleman right here because he is a very handsome gentleman, and
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna say he's a pass at all.
All right.
He's a definite Smash.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it.
Did I pass on anyone yet?
You passed on Heather Hudson and Wolfsbane.
Oh, I did pass on one other person. Yeah.
Oh, Farrell? Did you? No, was Farrell?
No, I think to be fair, I think I did. No, it was Tony Tiger. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did pass on that one because I am straight, but yeah, he's a handsome gentleman.
Sure. And that brings us to our final one, which is Marvel's Hepzibah, the cosmic skunk lady.
I mean, is she disgunked?
Do you want to find out? That's the question we're trying to.
I mean, I'm looking at this photo and I said I do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The legs open up and it just sprays you.
I did put the phrase "smash" on here.
Okay.
Hizbah on X-Men, obviously. So
yeah.
Of the X-Men.
You know, I don't say that I disagree with you on this one.
I mean, most 90s X-Men characters that are female, it's hard.
And look, I mean, this is Corsair, right? Corsair's very into it.
Mm-hmm.
He's drinking.
Yeah. So there we go. We've got more smashes than passes, that's for sure.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, fantastic. That is the stuff that we really wanted to do on this show.
I was like texting Jake. I'm like, should I send you a smash and pass now on the YouTube, or should I wait till later? I'm like, he's like, no, we're gonna have you on the show. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll hold off. Right,
hey, I mean, when you said you were willing, I mean, we had to. So
that's fine. It's fine.
All right. So now we're gonna take our ad break. Do our YouTube segment, and then we'll come back and talk about a few comics from this week and then one of Preston's favorite comics of all time. So we will be right back. All right. So Casey, I think we'll let you start with your video game question if you'd like.
All right. So I was thinking to myself, like, me and my brother were talking about this. If Sega would have beat Nintendo for like the console war, like the mini one that they had, and they made and like put Nintendo out of business, and they're like, oh, we're gonna fucking do our own Super Smash Brothers type game. Who would be in it from the Sega verse that that you're like, yeah, I want Vector Man for sure as my Metroid, as my Samus guy.
Vector Man's the shit.
I know. I knew you'd say that.
I'm not a huge Sega guy, but like from that era, I mean, I think they would pull some other ones out there. So you would have like Toe Jam and Earl put in there. Like they're not exactly Sega characters, but you pull them in there. Obviously Knights or whatever the character from Knights would be in there. I think as a fun like action or not toy, but like an item you would throw out. You would throw out something that would call it a taxi, and the taxi from Crazy Taxi
would come through idea.
And would just go through the level and hit some people. But yeah, there's not a whole lot on the Sega like front. I was a Nintendo boy.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I'll throw in Alex Kidd.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
If you guys are familiar with Alex Kidd.
No.
He was in well, I think wasn't it just Alex Kidd?
Yeah, I think you just Google Alex Kidd.
Was that Genesis or which one?
Oh, right. Yeah, it was Genesis. Look it up.
So I was thinking we'd get a Virtual On guy because that was from they had that in Dreamcast and Saturn, and then another one I was thinking are you guys familiar with I think it's Clockwork Knights?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good one.
I was thinking that would be like a good Link type character,
Yeah.
And then of course the Sonics, all of the Sonic characters.
Yeah, I looked up Sega characters and it's pretty much pulling up all the Sonic characters.
Yeah.
And I'm about to get into a DeviantArt character here. Territory. Rogue the Bat, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my first stand on Sega characters.
Danica Patrick, she was in a Sonic racing game, so we could get her.
Get Ooh La La is definitely in there for sure. From the what was it? Space Channel 5. Kind of like
I don't think I know.
It's not a dancing game, but it's a rhythm game. But Ooh La La is part of that. Like, yeah.
Did you guys ever play? I think it's Comic Zone.
Yes,
my brother brought that one up, and he said that would because I think that was a Sega game too. And then he was saying the Power Stone people, like someone from there would be good too.
Oh yeah. Also, not to mention Jet Set Radio definitely has a character coming in there. I don't know the names of those Jet Set Radio characters, but yeah. Oh, Beat. I guess his name is Beat. Wait, what is his name? Oh shoot. I'll give you one right now.
While you're looking that up, another like throw out item. There's a game called Fantasy Zone, and the main character in that was Opa Opa, which is like it looks like a vehicle from F-Zero, but it's got two wings on the back and two little feet. And it's just like a little guy. But I feel like you'd throw him out and he would run around and hit people.
Yeah. We'd have to throw out Chows too. Like
Chows.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like the Mr. Saturn, but they're Chows.
Right.
Then DJ Professor X or Professor K does something here and there. But yeah, definitely get some Jet Set Radio characters out there.
That's a series I've never played, but I feel like I should.
Get Beat. He's the main character. Yeah. Well, was it Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is coming out soon, hopefully this year. If it doesn't get pushed back another year, you'll know how it goes.
What a name too, right?
Great name.
Yeah. And then like I know it's just was shit. What is that one big Sega franchise?
Sonic.
You tell me, buddy.
Oh man.
It's Aladdin. He actually has a sword instead of a little towel.
That's true. My Aladdin copy is on the Genesis. That's one of the best games.
It's a great game.
Echo the Dolphin. I feel like Echo's got to
Oh,
be in there
Oh yeah.
somehow.
there's a
You know,
level all based off Echo. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
like a little
right.
stage for it. Yeah,
Um,
Echo just jumps around.
yeah,
That's the actually final boss is Echo.
right, like
So
Master
Mr.
Hand.
Hand. Yeah.
The franchise I was thinking of was Panzer Dragoon.
Oh
Um,
shoot, yeah. That's
I feel
definitely a
like,
stage for sure.
oh, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but like Shinmue, you know what I'm talking
Shinmu?
about? Yeah, I don't know. It's like
Shinmu?
a
Yeah.
fighting game, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's some Yakuza
I'm
stuff.
pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're talking about Shinmu.
Yeah. I know that that's still pretty popular. And then the only other one I can think of
Shinmu. Yeah.
is Fantasy Star. I feel like that like
Oh, you want to talk about Fantasy Star? To be fair, I played it on the GameCube, but
mm,
Fantasy Star Online 2
yeah.
was also not too bad. Me and Christian tried to start up, but it's like a free to play game now. It just takes a lot. It takes a lot.
Yeah, I feel yeah. But yeah, I think we just came up with a pretty solid lineup. Oh, and we would have to include characters from Golden Axe, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Uh,
They're still in Nintendo, but Nintendo has not grabbed them yet. So yes, we can take them as
right.
far as a
Yeah,
Sega
that's what I'm thinking.
Smash.
You know, the little Viking guy with the axe, or maybe it's like a Pokemon thing where you can switch between the three of them.
Yeah, depending on what action you use.
Yeah. So that Casey, does that answer your
Yeah,
question? Did
it
we give you
does.
way more than you were
There
expecting?
was a lot in there where I'm like, I don't know what these are.
Oh man, Sega, you gotta love them.
I hope they're listening right now and they're like, we're taking notes. We're gonna make our own Smash game.
Sega's not listening. They're just
Yeah,
doing their own thing, and yeah, just trying to struggle survive.
they're just
Well,
gonna be like,
hey,
we could put Sonic in this. Okay, we'll just put Sonic.
They already did that
It's
Smash.
Sonic
Yeah.
Fighters. It's a Sonic Fighters reboot.
Yeah, to be fair, stocks and Smash. But yeah,
If they are listening, though, I know 3 of the industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game that could help them out. So
The Waiting Room Podcast.
the waiting room.
I'm gonna bring us to the next one, the waiting room podcast, and we're gonna just do a little like elevator music before we go into the actual show.
All right. So now we're gonna do our Sonic Mad Lib.
All right.
And Preston, I'll let you take the first one, and then we'll just alternate back and forth. All right. So I need a noun, and this can be as filthy as you want, just whatever you want.
Dicks.
Okay.
No, dick, I guess, because it's not plural.
All right. Casey, person in the room.
Ellie.
Okay. Hallie.
She's asleep.
Say Shinru? We're looking around like here.
Preston, a color.
Purple, my favorite.
Okay. Casey, a verb.
Scraping.
Oof.
Okay.
Don't like that.
Preston, a noun.
Statue.
Statue. Okay. Casey, a place.
Neverland Ranch.
And don't like it.
Preston, a plural noun.
Trees.
Casey, a silly word.
Bukkake.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is why I watch the YouTube.
Preston, another noun.
Comic.
Casey, an adjective.
Sticky.
Sticky. All right. Preston, an exclamation.
An exclamation?
Yeah, just like I don't
Oh,
know.
sweet Jesus.
Okay.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Let's put the baby in there.
Okay. Casey, a noun.
Like a bucket full of piss and shit.
Hey.
I think I need to step my game.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, Preston.
I'm worried about what we're gonna do to my dog.
Oh no.
Preston, a verb.
Skeet.
Okay. Casey, a noun.
Shit diaper.
Preston, a noun.
Helmet.
You were looking around, so I was hoping you'd be like, dead baby skull.
Should say dildos. I have plenty of room there, so I want to make sure. Yeah.
Casey, a plural noun.
Dildos.
There you go. All right.
There we go. Preston, an adjective.
Bloodied. Bloodied.
Bloody.
Bloodied.
Bloodied. And Casey, a plural noun.
Dead baby skulls.
Jesus.
It's one of the darker ones we've done.
It's Anthony Jeselnik.
Right? Casey used to be a big fan of him. I don't know if you still are, Casey.
I still am, to be fair, myself.
Anthony Jeselnik.
Oh yeah. I haven't listened to him in forever, but
His
I don't listen
podcast
as much
is-
stand-up as I used to.
His podcast is actually really good.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Amy Rose is a fun-loving dick who has had a crush on Hallie for a long time. This purple hedgehog would only scrape her crush from afar. Weird.
Yeah.
But after many adventures, she joined Team Statue and has sworn to protect the Neverland Ranch from evil trees such as Dr. Eggman and his messenger, Bukkake. In countless battles, Amy has proven to be an amazing comic and a sticky hero. Gross. Now she is a trusted bucket full of piss and shit to Sonic. With a battle cry of, "Oh, sweet baby Jesus!" Amy wields her signature weapon, the imposing shit diaper hammer, which has the power to skeet any helmet it strikes. When Amy's not fighting to defend weak dildos from bloodied bullies, she enjoys cooking up delicious dead baby skulls for all of her friends to enjoy.
God. Jesus.
And there we go.
Better than I thought it would. But
Yeah, that was solid. That was solid.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, folks, welcome back. The three of us put together for Sega, thank you, Sega, a Sega version of Super Smash Brothers. And I think we've got some genuinely awesome answers for that. So Sega, we know you're listening. Reach out to us. We'll help you out. And then on top of that, we do another Sonic Mad Lib. Preston helped us out this time, and
Glad to be involved. Appreciate
it was a good one. So if you want to check that out, head on over to our YouTube channel. That's Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube. All right. And now we are going to talk about the comics we read this week. We're mostly going to talk about the ones that we read, like that all of us read, with a couple exceptions. So Preston, what books did you read this week?
I got Star Wars: The High Republic, The Blade. I'm pretty sure it was just me. John Stewart, The Emerald Knight. And then I think the ones that we all read together were Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Doctor Strange, Fall Sunrise, and DC Vampires, the last one. Well, maybe.
Yeah. Casey, what about you?
I read Blue Beetle Graduation Day, Doctor Strange, The Rise, there it is, Dead Boy Detectives, and Action Comics.
Oh, that's the one I missed. Dead Boy Detectives. I meant to make that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought for sure it would be on the list.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on my list, so
That's
I'll hold back
fair.
sometimes.
And then I read more than this, but these are the ones I'm going to talk about. Sword of Azrael, 6 of 6, Dead Boy Detectives #1, Moon Knight 18, She-Hulk 9, and DC versus Vampires 12. So, Preston, if you want to pick one that just you read,
Let's just
take it away.
Yeah, let's just start with Star Wars: The High Republic, The Blade. They've been doing a good job with these High Republic comics. I don't know if any of you guys have read any of those at all.
I read most, maybe all of that first run.
The first one is good. It's weird that they actually did a whole new run of the High Republic #1 and just kind of started a new thing. I'm like, okay, I just wish you would have kind of continued on with what you did last time, but whatever. But the Blade is fun. It's interesting what they're going to do with it. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it just introduces 2 new characters, and they're very interesting as it goes through there. And as far as like what they do and the system of battle a little bit with them at the very beginning, but other than that, it's super cool how it shows in that era of Star Wars, like a Jedi essentially goes to like a bounty board and is like Jedi inquiries to where like they choose what missions are going on, kind of deal. And it's a lot of it's an interesting dive into that era, which Marvel / Disney / Star Wars is trying to put into Star Wars of that era, which we'll find out also in Acolyte, that show. So
nice. So was this a one shot or is it going to be a mini series?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a miniseries. Yeah. From what I've read, yeah, it's gonna be continuing on.
Cool.
Small one for sure.
And what would you give it out of 10?
Give it a 6. It's not, as far as like whatever I read from Star Wars, it's not the best, but it has promises. But it's as far as the other High Republic issues I've read, it's not that good, but not bad, but not good.
Okay. Casey, would you like to go next?
Yeah. So Blue Beetle Graduation Day, 2 of 6. This is by Josh Trujillo and Adrian Gutierrez on the art. And it's fine. I mean, it's more just like we get some Teddy Cord in this one, which is nice. But there's also parts where Amy's aunt is with her girlfriend and they're just speaking full Spanish. No, I'm just like, oh, okay, there's like 2 whole pages of this. I don't speak Spanish.
I kind of
yeah. So I'm just like, that's cool. I guess they released this in Mexico and you can read the Spanish version. I'm like, is that part in English? Is that how I'm going to have to be able to know what's going on?
Go translate.
So, yeah, it's just they don't do that with a Chinese character. You know, like whenever we had the new Superman, they're like, oh, hey, this is all in Chinese, but here it is in English for you, you dummy. And I was fine with that, but that's annoying. But the art in this is fun, except for the last page we get Starfire, and I just hate the way they designed her hair.
That's odd.
I don't hate it, but it's not preferable.
Like the costume's solid. Like it's like the TV show So like that's solid. It's just that hair design. They could do so much better. But otherwise this is a perfectly okay book. It's gonna be nominated for sure next year. I'm gonna go 6 out of 10.
Right on.
Gotcha.
All right, I'm gonna do Sword of Azrael number 6. I just wanted to talk about it because everybody knows how much I love this book, and this was the final issue. So, yep, it's written by Dan Waters and art by Nicholas Esmezia, and this was just such a kick-ass, fun final issue. Basically, the Angel box, which is a mother box that's been corrupted to try and create other beings like Azrael, is going nuts and speaking to Sariel, and then there's just a big showdown between like a merged version of Azrael and biblical Azrael, and then Sariel and the biblical version of that character too. Meanwhile, Vengeance is in this issue too and has a showdown with Father Valley, which really shouldn't be much of a fight for Vengeance. And it's not. The parts that they show, like Vengeance is throwing him through walls and stuff. But it's cool. Azrael gets a new flame sword, which looks incredible. And the action scenes are just so good in this. The only thing is, like, obviously the spoiler alert, the day is saved there at the end, and Azrael kind of convinces Vengeance that she's on the wrong path, and so she ends up leaving at the end with Father Valley and John Paul. But Azrael takes on a new title as the Angel of Mercy instead of the Angel of Vengeance. And it's just sort of got an abrupt end where the three of them walk off into the sunset. And I'm really curious if they're going to do more with this. Maybe I need to see if Dan Waters has a Twitter or something and reach out and see if there's any plans to continue it. But man, it was awesome. Anybody that hasn't read this, I'm sure the trade will be out soon. Could not suggest it more. It's a blockbuster for Azrael, who is a character that does not get much love, but definitely should. So I loved it. This issue I'll give a 9.5 just because of the brief end. But man, the series overall, 10 out of 10. It was so cool.
Do you think enough people read this that they're actually going to pay attention to this continuity, though, the next time an Azrael comic comes out, like 5 years from now?
It's hard to say. I don't know what the numbers are for it. And I could look up, previous issues to see, but
I mean, how's it in your shop?
It does pretty well in the shop, but that's mostly because I push it on people. Only the people that I think would genuinely enjoy it. I'm like, hey, you should check this out. So it's definitely in that like middle tier for books that sell. But just because it does well at mine doesn't mean it does nationwide. So hopefully it does. And man, Dan Waters set up such an amazing like lore for Azrael that anyone going forward would be an absolute moron not to continue what was done here.
It's going to be just announced that Bendis is taking over Azrael. He's like, I didn't even pay attention to anything that's been written about him.
No, he wouldn't either. But anyway, all right. Preston, on to you.
All right, I think the only one that I have read that you guys didn't read was the John Stewart, the Emerald Knights. Emerald Knight. Casey, yep. You did not read that one, did you?
Which one? Sorry, I was hacking up my long.
You're fine. It's John Stewart, the Emerald Knight.
Oh, I did not. No.
All right, you're a Green Lantern fan, right? You read kind of the recent stuffs.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't read this. I saw it was Jeffrey Thorne.
Yeah, I saw Thorne as well. But yeah, also Stan Tucci on there as well as far as the artist. Art's not bad, but the story itself is just not great. I mean, to be fair, I did not like to be fair.
To be
To be
fair,
fair.
I did not enjoy what they did with John Stewart towards the end of that Green Lantern run. Obviously, they made him the new battery of Green Lantern, if you will, because the Green Lantern doesn't have a battery anymore. So John Stewart is now the battery. So there's a whole bunch of Green Lanterns coming in and doing some fights against what's his name, Phalanx, and they just have these orbs in their hand as they're running around, and it's like it's not the same as having a ring. It doesn't have that same kind of vibe, doesn't have that same feel. I'm like, this is kind of not doing it for me. They're all running around having fun. They're having fun. They're fighting, and they get to a certain point to where John kind of goes back into the like ethereal realm, if you will, and talks to like gods, and it goes into there, and there's a what is the White Lantern god? He's in here somewhere. Jesus.
Jesus is the White Lantern god.
No.
that makes sense.
It does.
Dimension? Demesne. I think is his name. But yeah, he looks like a Native American, and he has like he's like white like robe on, or shawl, if you will, and he comes in and kind of talks to John Stewart like, hey, this is kind of like your role, it's what you got to do, and just kind of like letting him know what he needs to do with his new role as the battery and putting in will and all that kind of stuff. But this Phalanx guy is trying to make a new god and bring it into existence, but the lanterns are just trying to hold it back, and it's just overall it's if they continue this onto a new Green Lantern book, I'm probably not going to read it. It's just not good enough. It's the lowest on the totem pole of everything I've read this week for sure.
The one plus though is like Philip Kennedy Johnson is going to be the next Green Lantern writer. So
Thank God.
Yeah, it's not Jeffrey Thorne. So even if it is doing something that stupid, it's going to be done better.
Okay.
For sure. What would you give it out of 10, Preston?
Oof. 5 being generous.
Okay. Casey, are we two mutuals or?
I'm two mutuals now. I got the Doctor Strange Dead Boy in action.
Okay. You and I can do Dead Boy, then you and Preston can do Doctor Strange, and then we'll do all the ones that we read together.
Okay.
Although I guess you didn't read She-Hulk or Vampires or Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Okay, so me and Jake will do those.
Yeah, geez. Okay, well,
you want to talk about Doctor Strange real quick?
Yeah,
sure.
How much of a bore that fucking was?
It's gonna be very quick with Doctor Strange because I had trouble getting through it.
Yeah.
But we got Doctor Strange by Trad Moore. And yeah, I mean, I could not tell you what happened in it. Like the art's kind of neat, but the story itself was just like, it's like, boy, dude, you're trying way too hard. That was like basically the
way too hard.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're really not Alan Moore or Grant Morrison, and that's what you're trying to write as, and it's just not captivating at all. But the art looks good.
Art's fantastic. Art's great.
Like art's perfect for this story, but it's the story itself sucks.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was not doing it for me.
This splash page. Pretty rad.
Yeah. Looks great. Looks cool.
So great. I mean, are they doing anything with like those knights at the end? Yeah, the cover is good.
It's just, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea. I won't be picking up the next one. I just kind of had to this week because I didn't have hardly anything, and I overlooked that I had She-Hulk. So
if it's a slow week, I will get issue 3. But yeah, if it's a big week, I'll maybe not. Maybe not get that one.
Yeah, I'm at a 3/4 though.
Honestly, you're not wrong. I would say 3 out of 10 for sure. To be fair, I would say give it a 5 because of art alone.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right. Preston, do you want to do Moon Knight?
Sure, we can.
All right. So we've got Moon Knight 18. It's written by Jed McKay with art by Federico Sabatini. I thought this issue was awesome. You know, earlier during Smash or Pass, we were talking about Tigra.
Mm.
Sabatini makes her look very, very good in this.
Right here. What was it? This right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the early, like the first time you see her, or it's like the third panel that you see her, Sabatini kind of gave her like anime eyes, and it's just like, man, this dude is catering to a certain group.
Yeah. He's aware.
But it was pretty awesome. Moon Knight and Tigra finally, what's the word I'm looking for? Run into or approach the vampire leader that's been causing all this trouble here in New York.
Chump.
And yeah, he hooks up. They're like in a conference room, and he has Soldier hook up holy water into the sprinkler system, and then just takes out like almost all of them. And then Tigra's there, Hunter's Moon is there to help. It's just like a big old fight, and it looked awesome. And yeah, they take care of that problem. But then there's a little epilogue where looks like they're bringing back old Zodiac, who I thought was a pretty short-lived villain. So I'm glad that he's coming back, since we didn't get too much of him. But yeah, Preston, what'd you think of it?
That was great. The holy water trick is obviously from the John Constantine movie. So if you want to kind of you call back, yes, I said John Constantine, not Constantine.
Thank you.
Alex, Christian, Jake, you're all welcome. To be fair, I did have a client. To be fair, I did have a client recently during my own job who pronounced their last name Constantine. So I was very happy, and I of course texted that to the world.
Are they from the UK?
No, they're from America.
Okay.
like, yeah, I understand it's different here and there. I'm like, yeah, but I'm really glad you call it Constantine. So I'm gonna tell my friends about it if you don't mind. Like, yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool.
My friends are insufferable.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this on them because they're just gonna talk shit on me anyways. Doesn't matter. But yeah, no, it was great. It was lovely to see that, and nice to see Tigra again. So yeah.
Yeah, I hope that I'm just glad this book is continuing past, just from when the show was on Disney Plus, because it's so good. And I hope that Tigra
not going too hard. Yeah.
I just hope they stick around, because these characters, even Hunter's Moon, just adds a nice dynamic to this book.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's the whole series, as far as these issues of comics have been going on for Moon Knight, has been probably my favorite so far of all the comics I've been going through. I mean, when I came to your shop a long time ago, I came there for the High Republic comics. But Moon Knight was one of those, like, okay, well, I'll pick it up. Let's kind of see how it goes. And it hasn't been anything near the show. It's just been doing its own thing. I've just been loving that all together. And the past few issues, especially the past few issues, have just been nonstop bangers, if not the whole entire series. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that from somebody else, just to know that it's not just me. Like it's nice, because Preston and I, we do like a lot of the same things, but we also definitely read very different stuff as well. So it's just cool that more than just myself is enjoying it. But I will be giving it probably like a 9.5, and I would say it's probably my favorite thing I read this week. So my pick of the week.
Yeah, honestly, it's 9.5. If not, honestly, you know what? Hell, it's my first time on here. I'll give it a 10.
Hey,
and it's my pick of the week.
Nice. Love to hear it. All right.
Also, thank you for the Peach Momoko cover. I appreciate it.
Of course.
And it has like 5 stamps on it saying so.
Yeah, I know. I wish they wouldn't do that.
I hate that they did that this week. Like all these nice Peach Momoko covers, which I have another one here. But stop putting stuff on my covers.
Yeah, we know who did it. That's why we're buying it.
Yes,
we don't need a big stamp that says Peach Momoko.
Peach Momoko universe. I get it, man. I get it.
All right, so next we'll do She-Hulk. I won't go into details, Casey, since I know that you want to read it and I don't want to spoil anything for you.
No, I glazed past it.
But it was written by Rainbow Rowell and art by Takeshi Miyazawa. And you know, it's a big throwdown between oh gosh, I don't even know their names. The gal and then the big
head
strong
girl
guy
and other Hulk person. Yeah.
Right. And then Jen and Jack. So this, I mean, there's one thing that I'll say I don't like, and they do some fourth wall breaking in this, and I feel like they only did that because the show just did that.
Yeah.
And it really feels out of character for this.
At first, I'm like, really? You're gonna do that right now? You're gonna do this right in the middle of this like comic book? Like, it doesn't seem earned. Doesn't seem like it was like something that should have been done. It just all of a sudden you got white pages with like scrape marks going on. Like, okay, now she's gonna give you like a not montage, but like a narrative, if you will. And like after all this time, kind of thing, and it's just it didn't feel earned at all. To be fair, she's going through a lot of stuff. I get it. She-Hulk can break the third wall, but I don't think it was earned as far as her breaking the third wall right here.
Yeah, I it feels like an editor was just like, yo, you have to do this.
Because she goes right back into the issue. Like it doesn't stop anything.
Yeah, it really just takes you out of it for a couple pages, which is a bummer. But then it gets right back into the action and something like pretty nuts happens. I won't say what. It was just definitely a big old cliffhanger. So
yeah. I do like the art. I do like the art a lot in this one. As far as like a comic book art, like it does a fantastic job at just doing that. And like the more I was like looking at it, reading it, I'm like, man, this is a really good, like just a great comic book as far as the art itself.
Yep. Miyazawa is really good. You know, Jen always, no matter how like, you know, hulked out she still just looks super cute.
Well,
at all times.
Get another little peach mocha right there. That is a very good attractive lady right there.
Yes. So yeah, I am gonna give it an 8.5, and you know, it would be perfect apart from breaking the fourth wall. It wasn't, it shouldn't have been in here, but otherwise it was amazing as always.
Yeah, I give the 9 out of 10. The breaking the fourth wall is probably what kind of threw me off. Otherwise, it would have been a really good issue. But yeah, for some reason that just seemed unnecessary. But they did it because they felt it was necessary, but I don't feel it was.
Yeah.
Also, the Peach Momoko cover is fucking fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, that always adds to the score.
It gives like a 0.5, 0.25.
All right. Next, we'll do DC versus Vampires, number 12. The series wraps up.
Does it though?
Yeah, I know. So, like Preston just alluded to, we don't really get an ending in this, which is so frustrating. Casey, I know you're not going to read it, so we will be talking spoilers here for a few minutes. But essentially, the way that this story ends is that Harley and Batgirl are taken into Dick's like vampire base. Barbara lets Dick bite her and Harley, turning them both. One of them has poison blood, so Dick burns up and dies. And then Batgirl just takes over, and she's like, I was Dick's greatest weakness, and I'm gonna do a better job of leading them than he did. And then Mary Marvel, it shows on the final panel of her like clearing out the sky so that the sun kind of shines through, and then it ends.
That's it. There's no actual ending, no actual fun times. Also, I want to say this. I love Constantine in this entire series. He's just kind of there. He pops in and out. He's kind of there in an ethereal form because he's not going to fuck around and actually be there because he doesn't want to get turned at any point, doesn't want to be in the battle because he's not a superhero. He's not going to fight. But I love how he just ends up showing up, and then you also have Swamp Thing in there. There's a lot of fun stuff that does happen in these issues. But yeah, it was just so disappointing. Just like, oh well, Dick bit Harley, and she has a blood that apparently messes with vampires, so therefore he's done, and everyone's mad at her. But also, Barbara's like, well, now I'm your new leader.
And everybody just goes with it.
Yeah, and everyone's like, okay, well, yeah, like Gorilla Grodd,
Wonder Woman's there,
everyone like who's like there as far as like about to fight her about it, and like, you killed who? Like, oh, we're gonna fight you. Like, no, I'm the queen now. And but they're like, okay, yeah, you're the queen. All right,
cool. Like, oh shit, I guess them's the rules.
yeah. No, Wonder Woman's gonna be like, okay, yeah, you're queen now, not me. Like, okay, well, right. I think Wonder Woman would have fucking stood up and done something, or would have like tried to fight for that. Like, it's Wonder Woman, man. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Batgirls, I love Barbara Gordon, but Wonder Woman would have stepped up and be like, no. It's me. I'm the next level as far as being top dog in this vampire world. But no, she'll be a lapdog to Batgirl.
Yeah, it's just very strange. And I realize that all of this is like outside of continuity, but none of the characters are really written outside of continuity up until that point. So it's just weird. And like early on in the issue, it was bringing in what happened in the All Out War spinoff, which I thought was cool. Better. It was way better. Much so better. I was like, it started off strong and then it just ended like that. And I don't know, man. It's just like, that's the best you could have done. I don't know, just weird. Just pretty weird. So, yeah, I'm probably at like a good 5.5.
I'd say give it a 6, maybe a 7 if I want to be fun with it. But yeah, it's for the last issue, the 12 out of 12, which it puts on the cover. You think you would have something a little bit more conclusive, something a little more that would like seal up the gaps and like just kind of put a nice bow on it. But nope.
And they didn't even say, which this would have annoyed me too, but there wasn't even
to be continued
and something else. Like it's just like,
nope,
this is probably it. So sort of a bummer.
Really bad ending, DC. How dare you?
How dare you? All right, Casey, we can talk about Dead Boy Detectives.
Do it. I want to hear about it.
All right, this is by Pornsack Pitchy-Shote and Jeff Stokely on the art. And yeah, it was good. I liked it. What'd you think, Jake?
I liked it a whole bunch. I thought it was really charming. Edwin and oh gosh, who's the other boy?
That other dead boy.
Yeah. Dang, I'm blanking on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Charles.
Yes, Charles. Edwin and Charles are both very likable. Obviously Casey is a big fan of the writer from Good Asian. So, he was a really good pick, I think, to write Dead Boy Detectives because they very much have that detective mindset, but they also mix in some like mythology about ghosts from Thailand, like all the different ghosts in Thai mythology, which is cool. And then, one or two of the ghosts are genuinely pretty creepy, in my opinion.
Pretty disgusting. The maggot back one.
Yep. The maggot back one is gross. And then the floating head and like spinal cord one was pretty scary. So
yeah.
I'm definitely on board for this though. I thought the art was really good. It fit the series well. It set up some stuff with like an evil witch and I'm just here for it. I thought it was really, really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's really, really cool. It sets everything up really well as far as the first issue goes. Like it's one of those ones where it gives you a little bit backstory on the dead boys and all that stuff, and then it keeps you wanting more. The only downside is like it feels like such a small book because like the end of it with the DC book, it's like all of these like, oh, look at this stuff we're doing next for Lazarus Planet. And then it's like you didn't need to do that. Like I felt like I was getting a lot more, and then like at the end, I'm like, oh, it's already over, and now
it's
all
4
this.
pages front and back of ads.
That's a lot of DC comic books that I read this week. Yeah.
That was very much a letdown with it, but other than that, it's still really solid.
Yeah. I think I might have liked it a little more than Casey. I'm probably at a 9 with it.
Yeah, I'm at probably 7.5, 8. It's solid.
All right. And Preston, I'm not sure if you have the very short list available, but Casey, what are you excited for next week?
Oh, we are going to talk about Action Comics.
So I don't have it on me. I read it earlier, but I didn't bring it.
All right, man.
But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we got Action Comics 1050 by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Tom Taylor, and Joshua Williamson, and art by Mike Perkins, Clayton Henry, and Nick Dragotta. And yeah, this is like sets up everything that's going to happen. We get everyone forgetting who Superman is, and if they get reminded, they're going to die. That's basically what happens. What? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really excited for the Josh Williamson stuff. The like when that happens, like I'm very interested in seeing where that goes. I don't like that Superman's like more powerful than he was before. Like he gets sent away, then he just teleports himself back. He's like, since I was on War World, I'm even stronger than I was before. And it's like, I guess that's fine, but what's Kryptonite gonna do to you now, bud? Like, yeah, we're building up to Metallo, and then he's like, I don't even have a weakness. It's like I can teleport throughout space and time. Who cares? So that's a bit odd. I'll be honest, the John Kent stuff doesn't interest me at all. Like it's just Val Zod going like, hey, we need these Supermen keep dying, like all these Clark Kents. Yeah, let's get a son. And that's all they really do to build that up. So it's like, okay, maybe they'll kill the son too. Why not? And then last bit, we get to see Metallo, the new and improved Metallo, and
who looks awesome.
Yeah, you got him right there for me.
Yeah, I'll pull it up like I'm got on my fucking computer.
Like name Metallo. All right. Okay. Buff boy. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm into it. I'm really excited to see where they go with 2 of the 3 books. So yeah, I'm probably at a 9, and this will be my pick of the week.
Nice. I liked it a lot too when I read it, but that's no surprise. We always like Action Comics. It's the best Superman story in the last long time. So good stuff. All right. Now we can talk about what we're excited for next week. Wow, I did a terrible job on this list now that I'm looking at it. It's like I didn't even proofread it, even though I did. And I even put a reorder on there. So, professional over here. But hey. Casey, what are you excited for?
The Joker book, I'll say, and then Fantastic Four and Joe Fixit, because I am not going to say I'm excited for Batman.
Preston?
Obviously, Harley Quinn animated series, Legion of Bats. Jake put the thumbnail on there. I'm like, hey, is it actually coming out? Because it's not in the actual list. But yeah, I love that series. Whatever the animated series does as far as comic books and the show itself, I love that as all together. Marauders, I'm a big fan of X-Men's Marauders. I love that series. And then I didn't have a lot else to go on with this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could go for. You could get Target Witch. You could get a whole bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of number ones here this week. But I am actually going to go for Gangster Ass Barista, because that just sounds like a fun title. why not? Let's fuck around and find out.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was with
It's a
that
slow
too.
week. Yeah, I'm like, it's a slow week. I'm like, you know what? That sounds fun. Let's go ahead and see what happens with that one. And obviously, I'll get the Dead Boys apparently. So
yeah, for sure. You'll dig it. And then Casey, I think that Mosley book was one by somebody that you really like and were excited
Oh,
for
really?
several weeks back.
So I'll look it up and see, because
Yeah.
I need to add in She-Hulk for you to give me too, and then I think
It's that Rob Gilroy one with the
okay,
hammer.
yeah, okay, then yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and then I will go with Dark Knights of Steel because I'm glad that that's back on a semi-regular schedule. As well as I'll say Scarlet Witch. I'm gonna check that one out, and then Sonic. It is a very short week, but definitely still have a couple of my favorites in there. So
you threw a bunch of number ones there this week.
yeah, I know. I'm kind of glad. They never really balance releases when it comes to a holiday season, but this year was better than most, so I guess I'll take it. But all right, now we can move on to our guest spotlight, which
Ew.
is one of Preston's favorite comics, and that is Batman Arkham Asylum by Grant Morrison and Dave McKean. So before we get into specifics on this story, Preston, just tell us what it is that you love so much about this book and why it has a spot in your top comics of all time.
So it's one of those things to where like that's when I just started actually reading actual comics, but I didn't get comic issues. So therefore, I was looking for graphic novels. I was looking for give me a big book, give me something like kind of like to hold on to, like and give me a good couple nights in, and not just give me a night with an issue of something. And that cover that I saw, which I'm looking for right now, this one right here, the one with the Joker face,
Yeah.
and then you have Batman going into the door, and just the artistic value of this book. I mean, it wasn't issues; it was a full graphic novel, from what I understand. Batman, A Serious House on Serious Earth, and you would understand why I like it so much. It's very Sandman. It's made by like the artist is from Constantine, Sandman. Like it's what I enjoy from comic books as far as the artistic value. And they do such a great job, and the iterations of the characters they go through. Not to mention it's the whole like Batman belongs here. Batman belongs in Arkham Asylum. He is just as crazy as the rest of them. Just because he puts them in there and has his own rules, he also should be there. That's kind of drew me to this. That's what makes it my favorite graphic novel of all time, as far as what I can bring to the table for you guys. And also this cover that's actually on this trade, which thank you, Jake. But like that's really fucking cool, because I did not realize for a second that was actually Batman. Yeah, that's Batman doing the whole like with the light. But yeah, light is a little brain, and like yeah, it's a very interesting read. It's a very great take with Batman and the Asylum itself. It needs to be read by anyone who enjoys Batman at any level.
I completely agree with all that you just said. I want to ask, I know the answer, but Casey, just for the listeners, had you read this before? And then did you like it before? And then what did you think about it upon this reread?
Yeah, I read it probably been like 2012, maybe 2008, matter, and I did not like it when I read it the first time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't read much of the weirder Grant Morrison. I had just read, Grant Morrison's Batman run, which isn't that odd when you look at the Grant Morrison's, scheme of things. And then since then, I've read his Animal Man and a bunch of his Doom Patrol and a bunch of their other stuff. And then I was like, when you brought this back up, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it because I didn't like it the first time. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty awesome. Don't know what my problem was the first time.
It can be a little bit up its ass as far as when it goes into like the actual history of Arkham Asylum and goes into the actual like history of the family. I kind of see how that can kind of pull some people away. But everything outside of that is just tens.
Mm-hmm.
I had read it. I've got this like really old, well, yeah, my screen's blurred. It's like a really old hardcover version of it though, but it's got a really cool bat drawing on it.
Oh yes, yeah.
But yeah, I was excited because this is a book that when people come in and ask for Batman recommendations, obviously it's always on my list of Batman recommendations. So I was excited to revisit it, and I did like it this time too. Especially because, as Preston just said, if you've read Sandman, you definitely get the Sandman vibes here. And Casey and I had just recently read the first volume of Sandman for the podcast. So
those nocturnes, yeah.
Yep. So I was very much into this. McKean's art is insane.
Love McKean.
I really like how he draws Batman. I also really like how a few of the characters are handled. In particular, Two-Face, I think, is extremely interesting in this.
So funny to me.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Just the fact that they're like, well, we fixed the whole duality thing, and now he's
Batman's
just has to.
Up.
Yeah, well, not even that. It's like he just crapped himself because he had to, do his tarot cards to decide if he wanted to poop in a toilet or,
Too many questions.
So funny.
Yeah.
Clayface was also like, I felt like was a great interpretation in this issue, like this comic. Yeah, it's they did a fantastic job with those characters as far as giving different iterations. I love how McKean draws Joker. That Joker is fucking scary, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like the beady eyes, like the way they do it, and he's fucking frightening. I've never been scared by a character in comics until I read this way back in the day, and that Joker would give me nightmares. Like that Joker is just drawn incredibly.
Yeah.
One thing that sucked about the Joker though is, so I'm colorblind, as I've mentioned before. Trying to read his dialogue is so hard.
So that's actually a big part of what I like about this also is that the lettering they did for just Joker. To be fair though, I was like sitting there like kind of okay, I gotta pull it up now because I have to put it in the light a little bit more because I have to read this now because it's not a bubble, it's just little red lettering, and I have to kind of make sure I have the proper lighting on it so I can read it. But I do like how they did that. Did I read it as Mark Hamill? Yes, I did.
Dude, I didn't even think about the colorblind thing until you just mentioned it. I'm sure that was awful.
Fuck with you so hard.
It was a rough time. I was like,
that's too
like since I was doing it on my phone, I would just like pinch and zoom. I was like, okay, I think I got the
gist. I'm sorry.
But man, scenes with like like the angel statue with the spear and stuff like that, like just the lightning in the background, the super gothic architecture of the asylum. It's just so good.
And the ending alone. Yeah, it was fantastic. It's like, hey, we'll let Two-Face decide. Joker's like, that's the best idea ever. So Batman tosses him the fucking coin. And it's like, okay, we're just gonna ruin the whole fact that we kind of try to cure him and give him more options. No, he's gonna decide by a coin toss. Like, okay, all right, Batman, we'll fuck you then. But yeah, and then he goes free. But also shouldn't have, because that was not the actual coin toss reveal. But Two-Face let him go.
Yep. And that was just such a cool ending, man.
Know. Yeah, it's perfect.
One thing though that I didn't like is the part when the lady kills the other doctor, and Batman's like, he deserved it. And it's like,
I was waiting for the voice. Thank you.
Batman wouldn't do that.
That's so funny.
Like that was the one part that was out of character for me.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I think at the time I was just kind of surprised that she did that, so I wasn't thinking about him in character. Another thing I wanted to bring up too, there's those two, or maybe it's just the one page where Scarecrow is dragging that pitchfork through the dark, and there's like sparks coming up. I mean, Scarecrow looks terrifying there, and that was just one of my favorite pages. McKean is just insane.
Yeah,
he's just insane.
A god in his own right. Yeah, for sure. But toss him on to Christian for sure.
So yeah, I feel like had we not done Sandman with Drew, we probably would have done Sandman with Preston.
I
know that's your favorite.
What's one of your favorite graphic novels? I'm like, well, you already covered the last one I really liked with your last guest. Like, well, there's this other one called Arkham Asylum. I really liked back in the day. It's like, oh yeah, we'll put that through. I'm like, yeah.
You should just been like, we'll do the second Sandman, and that's how I end up finally reading all of Sandman.
Yeah,
we just have different guests that love Sandman on.
Hey, that actually wouldn't have been a bad idea. Yeah, Swamp Thing or Constantine too. I knew that there were going to be a couple of really solid options. Basically, like Casey and I have talked about a bunch, 90s Vertigo comics is so kind of Preston's wheelhouse.
Yeah, to be fair, give me evil, give me creepy, give me cultist kind of stuff. Yeah, I will definitely dig it for sure. Yeah, and Constantine, Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Also, I wanted to point out, it wasn't until I reread this that I realized how much that Arkham Asylum book that came out last year like really took stuff from this, just the whole evil spirit at the asylum thing. I'll have to get you a copy, Preston. You'll really like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like obviously this book left its mark on the comics industry anyways, but just to see it pop up and stuff still, like after all these years, is just super cool to see. So, all right, any final thoughts? Batman, or yeah, no, it definitely is. Definitely is.
I will say I like that it was an April Fool's book. We don't get a lot of those.
That's true.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, thanks, Preston, for allowing us to discuss that with you.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I am an avid listener, as you guys know.
Well, thank you.
A constant commenter here and there when I can. And feel free to call me out for my fucking furry shit. It's fine, whatever. I'll talk shit on you back when you do it for me. But yeah.
No, that's all part of the fun, man. We really appreciate that you listen and comment and just interact with everything. So
one of the best friends.
Yeah.
We'll have to keep the furry list going. We'll find a couple months down the line, we'll find some new animals.
Challenge me. Obviously, there's a lot of them are just pretty much just tiger ladies. But so yeah, challenge me next time.
Well, I remember there was one that was I've never read the whole series, but it was Elephant Men, I think is what it was called.
Yeah,
get some characters from that.
Yeah,
I mean, bring them to me. We'll find out. We'll find out together. We'll experience things together. We'll find out some things about ourselves maybe that we don't know. So
I love that we have like a pro furry agenda now. But
not to mention favorite furry girl right here. And you know what, Casey? Jake needs to fucking fuck around and find out. Mirko.
Yep.
Mirko is the shit. Jake, if you want to just go ahead and skip and just start this new season, feel free. Maybe go like a couple episodes before this last season for My Hero.
Yeah, but the villain stuff you kind of needs to see.
You kind of got to build up for that. But Mirko, number one, hands down.
Yeah, I will. I mean,
my favorite fur girl.
So you both have talked to me about it, and then Christian texted me separately and was like, yo, you can't be talking shit on My Hero. You gotta get back into it because it's really good. So you guys all know how I felt about the stuff I didn't like. So the fact that you all tell me that it gets like right back into the action,
you're not fucking around.
I trust you all, and I will definitely watch it sooner rather than later. Because I did used to love it a whole bunch. Casey and I used to talk about it all the time.
You're anime boys. I thought you would, be watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Casey and I need to get back on
Anime,
I know. Boys. That's one of my New Year's resolutions for sure.
Get back to anime boys. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Preston, where can the people find and hear your sultry voice outside of this episode?
You can find me all sorts of fun places. Twitch.tv/testing room pod, where I do Wisher Wednesdays, most Wednesdays. Not recently, but it's been the holidays, but I'm back into it. We've gone to Lighthouse and had that fun excursion.
Oh, you're in a good part of the game.
Yeah, we've gone to there. And then other than that, anywhere you find your podcast, the same place you find these Handsome Young Gentlemen's podcast, you can also find the Testing Room podcast, where we talk about video games, have all sorts of great fun. And just, we put out episodes every Tuesday, usually. Just not this Tuesday. We're doing some technical difficulties, if you will. But there will be an episode soon this week, which will be our personal game of the years. So you'll hear Christian's, Alex's, mine, as far as our own top 10s. And then the week after that will be our actual top 10 game of the year awards for the Testing Room podcast. Alex had a great idea to do some fun side awards, which are called the Testies.
Nice.
And I thought it would be fun if we could just ship out some the testicles you see on the back of the trucks or hitches. If we just send those out to some of the people who we awarded those to, because some of them probably deserve it. But yeah, it's been a fun time. We love this show, and also maybe soon we'll have another D&D episode with the Odin Allfather here, Jake, to help us out.
Absolutely. Another, now that we're through the craziness that was the end of the year, I will definitely be able to get back into that.
That's what I was telling him. Like, there's no more weddings, there's no more holidays. Jake has no more fucking excuses. Let's get back into D&D, because I need to play my bird boy.
I know, man, and I love it too. It's super fun. So yeah, cool. Well, Preston, thank you again for doing this with us, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Anytime. Casey, pleasure to meet you.
It's pleasure meeting you finally.
I know. I hope that we can make our crossover episodes happen. Maybe that should be one of our 2023 goals, is to make that crossover happen.
The big fiver.
Yeah. Sure. So on to the closing plugs. If you guys would, please go to facebook.com/2worldspodcast and give the page a like. You can also follow us on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at 2worldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, go to our YouTube channel. That's 2worldspodcast on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel.
Leave a comment down below, like which one of us you want to smash, or which one of us you'd pass. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'd love to stay in chat, but we got to do a scam that probably costs way more than 25 cents, and try to get 25 cents out of you so we can get some jawbreakers. All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.